to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford. What Canelo has is size, and as a result, physical strength and punching power.
And a neck as wide as Broadway, for crying out loud.
Right.
The thing that I don't like about Canelo is that it's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yes.
They both hit hard. Yeah. Because and you could see the strength. You know, when I was fighting against Crawford, I didn't think Crawford was that strong, but when he kind of moved me around a little bit, he is very strong as well. So look, yeah, but why does he need to give that much away? He's pound for pound #1 in the world. Why does he have to go up and fight Canelo?
Max Kellerman and Stephen A. Smith broke down the mega fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Stephen A. predicts Crawford wins by decision, but with caution. He recalls Gervonta Davis's warning. If Crawford trades too much, he could get caught. With Canelo's natural size and power, Stephen A. insists Crawford must rely on defense, speed, and ring IQ, not reckless exchanges.
Greatness. And a neck as wide as Broadway, for crying out loud.
Right.
The thing that I don't like about Canelo is that it's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yes.
And that's not beating Crawford. I will confess, I think Gervonta Davis's trainer, Cal, I think he said this. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble, and I'm not sure it was him, but I think it was him. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble if he decides to engage with Canelo, because Canelo is the naturally bigger, strong fighter. And I don't care that Crawford's gotten bigger, and I don't care that Crawford's going to go in there just as big as Canelo. Canelo is accustomed to fighting at the weight.
For him, strategy over strength is the key. Max Kellerman sees it slightly differently. He believes Crawford's overall skill set looks sharper, giving him a clear technical edge. Still, he highlights Canelo's iron chin and naturally bigger frame. Size matters in exchanges, and Canelo's durability can't be ignored. But Max also points out that Canelo hasn't...
A great chin. But in terms of, if you want to go skill for skill, especially the recent version of Canelo, who's had to turn into a seek and destroy guy, who had to learn as his career went on to cut off the ring and not just follow guys around. Like Lara, Trout, Floyd, he followed those guys around. He had trouble because he's really a natural counterpuncher who wants you to come to him. But in recent years at super middleweight, he's gotten really good at cutting off the ring. Again, last fight notwithstanding. So as an overall suite of skills, recent vintage, it's been Crawford.
Okay.
But Canelo also is skilled and has a larger skeleton than Crawford. No matter what they weigh, Canelo's the bigger guy.
Yeah. So you briefly mentioned Canelo's power. So who, I would assume Canelo has the
You'd have to think, unless Crawford was on a knockout streak until he moved up to junior middleweight and then failed to stop Madrimov.
Looked as sharp in recent fights, showing signs of decline. In his view, this fight boils down to timing versus toughness. Crawford's precision against Canelo's resilience. Former champion Antonio Tarver has thrown his support behind Crawford. He praises Bud's consistency across multiple weight divisions, but admits this is another level entirely.
Tarver's take, I'm Bud County all the way. But this is going to be the toughest fight, the best fighter Bud has ever been in the ring with. And arguably, this could be the best fighter Canelo has ever been in the ring with. We'll find out which one is which on September 13th.
Antonio, I appreciate your time. Safe travels back home.
Man, I appreciate it.
Thank you, Antonio.
Tarver calls it not only Crawford's toughest test, but also a challenge Canelo has never truly faced before. For him, this fight is history in the making. Timothy Bradley Jr., known for his sharp boxing IQ, believes the opening round will be slow and tactical. Both fighters, he says, will study each other, analyzing movement, timing, and openings rather than taking big risks early. Crawford usually starts patiently, setting traps after reading his opponent.
First, Crawford wants to feel his punching power as well. In the beginning, It's all the position balance. Like both guys are trying to get balance and trying to find their rhythm, you know, understanding their distance to where they can punch and at the same time avoid getting hit. You know, it takes Crawford a little bit more time than I would say Canelo to get right to it. Canelo, although he is a prolific counterpuncher, fantastic counterpuncher, you know, he tends to find his spots a lot quicker. You know, and the indication of that is when, if you look at any of the boxers that Canelo has faced, Trout, even Danny Jacobs, even when he fought against Charlo, you just check out the first round. You know, he usually takes off, just feels the power, you know, cruises, you know, see what these guys know, couple of feints, level changes, you know, gathering information, right? Crawford does the same and similar things. So I think the first round's going to be a real, like, calm and cautious round by both fighters. But in the second round, Canelo's going to start applying that pressure, man. Pre-engagement with Crawford is a little bit more difficult than a Charlo, okay? Let me explain this. So pre-engagement is the movements before you get into that sweet spot, which is mid-range, to be able to let your hands go, right? Both guys are trying to counter each other's movement. Both guys are looking at each other's, you know, hands, trying to anticipate what they believe is going to come next.
Canelo too often feels outdistanced before adjusting. Bradley predicts round 1 won't be fireworks, but a high-level chess match. Amir Khan, who has shared the ring with both men, brings a unique perspective. He acknowledges Crawford's greatness, especially at welterweight, but warns weight. Divisions exist for a reason. Moving up against a naturally bigger Canelo is a dangerous gamble. Khan insists Crawford didn't need this fight. His legacy is already secure. Still, he respects the ambition, calling it a bold attempt to silence.
And we did all the build-up. We were nothing but respectful.
Yeah.
I just feel that, you know, in boxing, weight divisions are made there they make them for a purpose. And I highly respect and say pound for pound, the best fighter is Crawford by far, and beats anyone. But when you start putting weight on and you go up a weight and you fight these guys like Canelo, even though Canelo might be now getting a little bit older and it might be slowing down a little bit, but he's still going to be very dangerous. That punch power, you're still going to get tagged, you're still going to get hit. You're going to have to spar heavier guys to get ready for that anyway. So you're going to be taking a lot of wear and tear anyway. You're going to have to adding a few pounds on. Does he need to put that pressure on himself? He's done what no one's ever done before. 2-time undisputed world champion. So why not just enjoy? But obviously you want to go for that next challenge. Now for him, he wants to go for that Canelo. I would advise him not to go for that. Yeah. But if he's the man and he knows how good he is himself. So I can't really say to him that do this or do that. So really,
he believes in his skills. He
believes in his skill. Yeah. We can't answer for him. Yeah. We let him go and do it. You know what I'm saying? And we all might be wrong. Yeah. He might be even stronger than Canelo. He might pack the weight on well. Yeah. That he might do really well in there. So look,
you fought them both. Like what are the differences between them? Obviously, it's weight.
Canelo's strong and he's easily hit. Very easily hit. Yeah. Compared to when I fought against Crawford, I couldn't even hit clean. Yeah. So really, that's the difference. And they both hit hard. Yeah. Because and you can see the strength. You know, when I was fighting against Crawford, I didn't think Crawford was that strong, but when he kind of moved me around a little bit, he is very strong as well. So look, yeah, but why does he need to give that much away? He's pound for pound #1 in the world. Why does he have to go up and fight Canelo?
Doubters. For Khan, this is high risk, high reward. It could elevate Crawford forever or put his career in jeopardy. Promoter Tom Loeffler looks at it from the business side. He says this is more than a fight. It's a global event. Canelo and Crawford are two of the biggest names in boxing, representing massive fan bases across nations and demographics. He calls it a clash of empires, Canelo's reign as boxing superstar versus Crawford's rise as pound-for-pound king.